Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and this weekend I'm just catching up with some of the requests that I have received from emails. Now this one was from an incredibly long time ago. I don't know if even the individual who requested it is actually going to be interested anymore at this point, but it actually came in, oh goodness me, in November with a suggestion to try this particular puzzle. Now, one of the reasons why I was so hesitant to go for it is I just couldn't really find it online anywhere. I just didn't know what the difficulty rating is. I didn't know if it's going to be a particularly good feature. So that's been kind of one of the challenges that I have with this. If you do request any particular puzzles, do please at least link it to, if it's on whatever, I guess, community it's on. Let's say if it's Logic Masters Germany, link it directly to that. So I can just read the comments, kind of sound it out, make sure that it is, a high quality puzzle to feature on this particular puzzle on this channel. So I am taking a bit of a risk, and potentially, if it's not a great puzzle, I'm just not going to put the video up. If I do enjoy it, though, you will see it. That's kind of how this one will go. Anything else I want to say on this? So a bit of confusion on my part. I mixed the name of the puzzle with the name of the constructor. So the name of the puzzle is Reflected Night, and here I was creating tons of images that's all about pirates because it's created by Jolly Rogers. So best of both worlds, I ended up with knights that are kind of reflected, attacking, and being pirates. As insane as that looks and sounds. Let's just take a look at the Sudoku puzzle. Right, so I did say Reflected Night by Jolly Rogers. That part you already knew. Then we have, goodness me, cells separated by a knight's move. It's back, ladies and gentlemen, my nemesis. I may as well try it on what is hopefully going to be a slightly easier puzzle. So, normal Sudoku rules apply. That means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, column, and 3 by 3 box. We have cells separated by a knight's move in chess cannot contain the same digits. Knight's move, if you remember, is essentially when you step one move to the side and 2 steps, well, 1 step forward, 2 steps to the side, or 1 step to the side, 2 steps forward. And essentially you end up with something that says all of these cells can be seen by knight's move, and therefore none of them can be this 2 here in the middle. We have Kropki dots, only one of them actually. Let me just get rid of these. This white dot in here has to be consecutive. So if that's a, we know that's not a 2, obviously, because that was a 2. This would have to be 1 or 3 to make sure it's consecutive with a 2. Doesn't say anything about negative constraints. So I assume there aren't any. So nothing stopped me from having a 1 or a 3 next to this 2 without a white dot between them. At least that's the way I'm going to interpret it at this point. Cells containing a grey square must be even. You can see 3 of these around the puzzle. These have to be all even digits. Cells containing a grey circle must be odd. These 3 have to contain odd digits. Now the really interesting bit here is the blue line is simultaneously a palindrome and a region sum line. So palindrome lines must read the same forwards and backwards, and a region sum line has the same sum in every 3 by 3 box it visits. So this cell and this cell have to be the same. In fact, I think we're in for a bit of coloring, ladies and gentlemen. These 2 cells have to be red, whatever red is. These 2 cells would have to be blue. These 2 cells would have to be green, and so on and so forth. We need to make sure that we have consistent sets of cells. And I know these happen to be different colors just because of night move. But I'm actually now really looking forward to this. So only thing left to say is, if you don't mind, really it's nothing to do with pirates at this point. If you don't mind seeing some reflected nights, perhaps in a mirror rather than on the high seas, link will be in the description down below as usual for you to play along. And all that's left for me to do is to restart the clock and see how I get on. So what I was just doing there before I did a quick restart is counting cells. So I think all of them are consistently 3 cells long. Yes. So we know that based on these region sum lines, which I didn't actually describe, is essentially the sum of all of these lines in each of these boxes has to be the same. So these can be from one, essentially the minimum would be 1, 2, 3, making these two from 6, 7, 8, or 9. So that's the maximum I could make any of these sum 2s and 9, because at least I know one of these branches of this region sum line is a single cell, and therefore I am constrained to 9, but I could be as high as 6. Now, I'm going to say I'm absolutely certain it's not 1, 2, 3. I want to see how I can prove that. I'm sort of looking for a cell that can see all of its neighbors in the next box, so to speak, because a 6 would have to be 1, 2, 3. Let's sort of establish that. But what I'm trying to hope for is that if one of these is 1, 2, 3, there is a cell somewhere on this line that wouldn't be able to, that would actually see all of the cells in the next box, making it impossible for it to be 1, 2, 3. And I really should have I was looking for an anti-knight move, kind of my bane right now, and this is a very obvious one. Here is this cell. If that was 1, 2, 3, and all of these were 1, 2, 3, I've broken it. It is not 6. Now, I feel like I need to keep going with this. So what I'm sort of thinking out in my mind is, here is the same thing. It's not 7. 1, 2, 4. 7 in 3 cells has to be 1, 2, 4. So all of these will be 1, 2, 4. And again, we'd break it. So it's not 7. It's 8 or 9. Now, what I'm looking for now, and I've been thinking all along whilst I'm sort of trying these things, is so 6 can only be done in one way, which is 6, 1, 2, 3. 7 can only be done in one way, which is 1, 2, 4. 8 could be done in one of two ways, which is 1, 2, and 5, and 1, 3, and 4. And then lastly, we have 9, which can be done in 3 ways now. 1, 2, and 6. 1, 3, and 5, and then lastly 2, 3, and 4. So what I'm sort of thinking here is the geometry of this region sum line, really to allow us to make progress, is somehow going to constrain me to the fact that I need 3 different ways of being able to complete this region sum line, as opposed to only 2 different ways. And I think that's kind of what I'm going to be looking for in testing. But maybe what I need to do now at this point is maybe a little bit of coloring just to see what it all means. If this is purple, that's blue. And I know that these are definitely different because they're all in the same box. Any weird shenanigans with Sudoku? That, the constant challenge that you have is using too many colors where potentially some of these digits can repeat. For example, this could be blue or purple. No, it can't be purple, but it could be blue or a new color. So I think that's kind of when you're going around coloring this is definitely not blue, knight move and blue, and not green. So this could be purple, but obviously I've already used one color that I'm potentially not using. So that could be yellow or a brand new color, orange. And does this side help me at all? No. Nope. This cell is maybe a bit more useful. 1, 2, this cell sees blue and green. Sorry, blue and purple and green. So this one is definitely, I'm actually going to lose these for a second. This one is definitely a new color, yellow. You can see blue and purple and green. What else do we have? I'm going to keep this reference in here of 8, only 2 ways of doing it. 1, 2, 5 it was, and 1, 3, 4, and 9 having three different ways. And you can see we're already at, we need 4 unique digits, which this one has 1s, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This one has 5. This one has 6. So we're already at 4. Can we find 5th and 6th? Is another question on my mind. Maybe. These two. So that's the constraint, in that there is only 5 or 6 different digits. We can see 4 of them at least in here, in this run. But these zigzags, they must be fascinating. I need to be thinking about those too. It's such a shame that these two cells have so many options. Or maybe I started coloring at the wrong end. I'm kind of half tempted to try something with 1s. Because you see, if I'm restricted to an 8 in here, then all of these must always have a 1. And essentially, one of these 3 has to have a 1. There would have to be a 1 in here. And I think either of them, well, this could be, yeah, because it doesn't see. So essentially, it would basically, let's just humor me for a second. These would all be potentially 1s. It can't be the green because it sees all 3. Now, once we get in here, that even digit is sort of helpful in that this cannot be a 1. 1 would be restricted to here. 1 is now only blue. Sorry, only purple in here. So that couldn't be a 1. Let's keep going. One of these two is a 1, forcing this to be a 1. Just if this is Sudoku and it needs to occur on this line, it is achievable. I can actually place a 1. No, I can't. Why is that? Because of the palindrome. These would have to be 1s. One of these two would have to be 1. Let me color this so you can see it. Yellow is a bad one. I've used it. Orange. Let's assume it's orange for a second. Now, 2 away from 1. Oh, that does actually work. I thought for a second this won't work. That could be red. So if this is 8, these are the 1s. Purple, orange, red. And that looks like it works on the palindrome, doesn't it? Let's just lose these 1s. What does that mean? It means I'd have a 1. Let me just, remove this reference for a second. I feel like it will break somewhere. Just Sudoku constraints puts a 1 down here. That would be the 1. Oh, hang on. Orange and purple cannot both be 1. Right. Ignore what I just said. That doesn't work. Right, so let's just, I think I'm still on the right track here. The reason this blue cannot be a 1, because 1 would be on one of these 3 cells. That's even. It has to be in there. It couldn't have been blue. Can't be green because it sees all 3. So let's just prove this now. Green is not a 1. I need a 1 on one of these 3. It's not the yellow. It's one of these 2. In fact, specifically, it is this cell. The one just before yellow, which removes this 1, puts a 1 in here, which is a nice move away. So this is 8. Sorry, this is 9. I don't know if, it doesn't feel like it's bifurcation. I'm sort of wrestling with that concept again, because, I'm very specifically testing for the fact that this palindrome construction means I cannot have ones in the right place to allow me to use purely 8. So that's my story, and I am sticking with it. So now we know 6 unique digits on these cells, or up to 6. Specifically, there is at least one line on here, or one segment of the line, where it is 2, 3, 4. In fact, because it's a palindrome, we know that there is a segment that is 2, 3, 4, and indeed another segment that is 2, 3, 4. It's quite interesting. Okay. Right. Shall we do a bit of Sudoku at all, do you think? I'm sort of identifying the unique digits, which I think is a good way of doing it, but too restrictive. Maybe what I'm going to do, because I tend, like I always said, I always struggle with having too many colors. Maybe this is worthwhile doing. So you can see B, C, B, C. Can this be A? Yes, it can be, but B's and C's are in here. Can it be this cell is B or C? Because that would be 2 before yellow, that would be down here. That is possible. This C is B and C, but it can be A, can be A. This is none of these. This is another unique digit, D, which is this cell here, D. This could, excuse me, I meant to say A or another new digit. So this is A or E. We knew that these, let's think about this one, which sees A, B, and D. So this is either C, which it can be, or it can be the same as yellow. So it could also be E, or of course it could be a brand new letter. I, B, C, D, E, F. So I'm allowed up to F. That's the thing to remember, because I have a maximum of 6 different digits that can add up to 9 in each of these. So I think I really need to think about what this is. Yes, Sudoku. None of these are D. This is not D. One of these 2 cells are D. Sudoku anti-night move means one of these 3 is D. Can't be this one because it can see both of these. So D is restricted to here. That's not a D, that's the D. These are not Ds. At the moment, D can be on purple. And D could be next to C. Okay. B's and C's, A's. All of these can be A. Where is A in here? There's none of these. A is in a ton of possible places. A is not even. It is odd. So A is only one of these 2 cells. And in fact, specifically, can't be odd. Can't be here because that's knight's move. That's A. That's A. This is useful. So I am on the right path, I believe. That means none of these can be A. And in fact, nor can purple. So one of these 2 is an A, but not this cell because it can see it here with Sudoku. What is this cell? So, like, I'll tell you something that is sort of slowly occurring to me in the back of my mind is that there's a handful of digits that can be the one. One is going to be the most occurring digit on this line. And A is looking like mighty delicious for that role. Essentially, this looks like it could be the 2, 3, 4 set. And then all the rest would actually have 1s on them. Now, none of these can be A, because A sees green, A sees blue and purple. These all have to not include A, and that would be the 2, 3, 4 set. But let's just see what it can be. And remember, I'm allowed all the way up to F on all of these. So green can actually probably be a ton of possibilities. It is not A or D, but it could be just about everything else. B, C, E, and F. Not great. Blue is not A, B, or D. It is C, E, or F. And purple is a ton of options again. Let's maybe do a little bit more thinking about this. Green could be in one of 3 cells. It's not in any of these. It is B, C, E, or F. For some reason, it can't be in any of these. Green is in here. How did it miss out? So it missed out on A and D, but no, B can be green. Yeah. Could have green, green, and one of these being B. That's fine. So no, this was not the right path. Ignore that. What is purple? Purple sees A and C. That's it, really. This cannot be C, because that's odd, and C is even. Because this is even, this has to be odd, which unfortunately D is. So D can actually stay in here. We said that essentially we've got the following sets of digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, not C. And essentially we've identified 2 odd digits. A and D are odd. C is definitely even. This cell here, whatever EF is, because it's not A or D, it's the 3rd odd digit. And then we have 2 even digits. This might be the way to do it, actually. Let me I'll state that out loud. So I think this is made up because all of these are either, you'll always need an odd digit to be able to add up to a 9. It's either 3 odd digits or 1 odd digit and an even digit. Odd, even, that's got to be even. Yes, this is it. B is even. EF, whatever EF is in here, because it's got to have 3 odd digits. We know A and D are the odd digits. Blue has got to be odd. That's the 3rd odd. That's EF. That's not C for some reason. Yes, we established it's even. Yep, we're onto something now. So, odd digits, odd and even. B is even, even. We'll come back to the list of options for 9 in a moment, but this is very exciting all of a sudden. Both of these are even. Both of these are even. That's the odd digit. This has to be odd. And we establish B and C are even. The odd is this blue, E and F. This is a BC pair. Because we needed B and C, if you remember here, with the corner pencil marks. That can't be even digits, which B and C are. I don't remember how we proved that B was even, but we're keeping a run of that. Yes, because that's the 3rd odd digit down here, and it's not B. So they are not there, they are here. This is E and F. This is a phenomenal puzzle. There's a very high chance that this is D. Right, if you think now about the possibilities for a second, again, 9, I really do need to change, yeah, from letters, there you go. So we had 1, 2, and 6, 1, 3, and 5, 2, 3, and 4. Now the one that has lots of odd digits, so the AD in blue, is always the 1, 3, 5. The others have evens. So that's a 1, 3, 5 set. Now, outside of this set, you have an odd digit that is either 1 or 3. So if we take a look at the ones that have evens, so 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. Now these have even digits. That's the odd digit, which can only be 1 or 3. I'm really leaning towards the 1, but I don't know how to prove that just yet. 21 minutes. I'm gonna walk away from letters and start using numbers. Now, there are some, yeah. So you see this one doesn't have A, it has blue. So D is 5, because 5 is the only one that never repeats with the 2 even digits. And that's the odd digit. Can't have a second odd digit. That is not D. This is another AD pair. That's an even digit. We've established that's the odd digit. These are 1 and 3. I am going to... what I should do though is color them before I start replacing letters. Because I have pretty much colored nearly all of it, haven't I? Yeah, EF is done. D is another color. So I don't want to lose sight of some of this information before I remove the letters. This has to be a new color. I am going to do something though. I am going to replace all of my colors for a second with something that I am happier with, that I'm going to remember a bit better. A's are purple. B's are whatever that was. Next, blue. C's are green. D's, I'm going to go for orange because I know D is it's 5. And then EF, which we've been using, is going to be yellow. And then the third digit is going to be red. Is that the third one? Looks like it, isn't it? I'm going to just revert for a second. Yes. Sorry, the 6th one. This cell. Red. What is this cell? Yeah, purple seems to be somewhat unique. And this green doesn't occur anywhere else. That's fine. So I haven't lost any information. I just don't know. This one has to actually be a repeat of one of these 6 colors. And I don't know what it is. But what I'm now able to do is replace all the D's with 5s. This is a definite 5, not a D. And an A. I'm going to just put a flash on it. This is blue-green. This is potentially, I would make C potentially 4. That looks achievable. We know that A and yellow are now 1 and 3. 5 is in one of these. I don't need D anymore. D is long gone now. Right, let's just, come on, I've got to be able to solve it from here. 1, 3, 1, 3. These are, what are they? How am I going to distinguish if it's a 2-4 pair with a 3 or a 2-6 pair with a 1? It's a pretty solid question. So yellow, you can see, is definitely down here. Purple is none of these cells, too many places for purple. Yellow is forced up here. Yellow could be in one of these 2 cells, not very helpful. Whatever is red is occurring with another one. Because remember, we have 2 even digits. And it was 2, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 6. And in essence, and again, 2, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 6. So if we focus on the even ones for a second, the BCs, and what is clearly a different even set. And let's just write them down one more time just to sort of illustrate this. I need to share an even digit. I have to. Now, is this essentially the B, making it the 2? That's one option. Or the other option is that this is red and this is C. So we need one of B and C repeated in here, plus the 4th even digit, which is going to be 4 or 6. Sorry, yeah, the 3rd even digit, which is going to be 4 or 6, because it's only the 2 that's common. How do I distinguish that? So that could be B with F. Let me just clear this a bit. So it's either B, no, not what I wanted. B with F, that's one possibility. Or C with, sorry, let's try that again. I meant to say C with F, that's one option. Or B with F. So F, C, that would make this B, that would make this C. So far, so good. And then the other option is it's reversed. That this is a B, F pair. And there doesn't seem to be really any constraint on the moment. B is not here. B is in one of these, which of course makes that not B. That's the B or C, incredibly. That's always F. So that's always red. That's always F. This is the B or C. And these are B or C. Am I going to be able to resolve this without going elsewhere in the grid? I'm kind of suspicious I'm not going to be able to. Because, you know, we've got these to help us. I'm not really using them. And I should. So I'm just going to maybe do a little bit of Sudoku, such as C has to be in here. C has to be there. So does B for that matter. No, it's just cluttered. Is F interesting? F is actually forced in here, not F. No, F is up here. We established F is an even digit. So F is in one of these two cells. F can't be there. It's not here. Let's just take a look at where it is in the center. No, it's in plenty of places, unfortunately. Remove these. That's not F. Not F. F is in a domino here. It's not these two. That's F. And F is restricted to this side, not helpful. Oh. Yeah, no more night move wizardries really to help us. How do I move forward from here is, I think, a question I'm sort of asking myself. I'm sort of trying to keep it reasonably tidy so that I can see things. And I'm not sure, I think it's almost like slowing me down at this point. Purple. Can I establish anything about purple and orange? This white Kropke dot, can it help me at all? Does it force a 4? If C was a 4 next to a 5, what does that do? That would be 4. And that would make this a 3. And that would make F a 2. That doesn't work. The only time 4 appears with the 9 is when these add up to a 5. With 4 gone, it can't be 1 and 4. It's got to be 3 and 2. But then remember, the 2 is the digit that needs to repeat. So that is a long way of saying if that cannot be a 5, because that would force this to be a 4 and it breaks the puzzle. Highly unexpected. Now, more broadly, C cannot be the 4. Again, we've gone that route. 4, 3, 2, when really the 2 needs to be always repeated in the even sets. So this is not 4. This is from 2 or 6. If it's 2, both 1 and 3 are not available. So that white Kropke dot fails. C is 6. Making B, that's got to be, purple's got to be the 1, whichever purple was from the start. I think it was indeed the A. These have to be 3. These are a 1-5 pair. This now has to be, B has to be 2. That is the 2-4 pair. I'm absolutely certain of it. So that's 2. That's 4, 4, 2, 6, 2. Ignore these lovely, I mean, I can leave them, but I think that is now correct. I mean, I'm just going to color these correctly. And that looks like a palindrome that adds up to 9. Yes, and this is not 5, that's 7. We've done 2, 6. I mean, that can still be a 4 or 8. We're almost, yeah, it looks like we will solve this slightly more elegantly than yesterday's puzzle. Let's see if we can take this home, shall we? Right, what are the remaining digits? I don't need these flashes anymore. I think, I can see that these are 3 for sure. What do I need in this column? So the 2 is down here. This is not a 2. This is not a 2. That's 2. C was 6, wasn't it? So I will remove the C and just add 6, and F was, and add 4. And then no F's, 4's. Done. Right. Can we solve it from here? I'm sure we can. What do we need in this column? We need seemingly 7, 8, and 9. That's not a 7, that's 8 or 9. That's 7, 8, or 9. What do we need in this row? We need a 4, which we've established is not up here. How did we establish that? What was wrong with 4 in there? How did I restrict F to all the way up here? I was meant to write in 3, not 4. That's why. So we need 4, 8, and 9 in here. Certainly seems plausible to me. Maybe I'm gonna remove this. That's a 3. Let's just keep going. 6 is in here. Then we have a 7, 8, 9. One of them is in there. 2 of them are in here. One of them is in here. Not very helpful. 7 is in there with not 8 or 9 only. We need something else. Well, yeah, potentially a 4. So I think I need to pay attention to these. They are going to help me. This is not 2. This is not 4 either. This is 6 or 8. Why is that material? Nine. That's 9. That's not 9. That is 9. These are not 9s. That's not 9 either. 9 is in one of 2 cells in here. That's a 3-9 pair. That's a 4-8. That's a 4-8 as well. Yeah, not too sure. 4, 7, and 8. That is a triplet, though. I should be able to write this in. That's a 6. Then I need 7 and 8 in here. I will probably need to color the 7s and 8s. This is 4, 6, and 9. 9 is not this cell. 4 is not this cell. That could be any of them, seemingly. Okay. Am I going to pencil mark these in? Not sure. Probably not. I may pencil mark or color these. I am basically done with all the other colors. That's 40 minutes. They're all gone. Let's see if we can I do anything with these 1-5s? Apparently no. No, not to worry. That's blue. That's red. That's red. That's blue. I need blue and red up here. Not sure I can see where they are. That's okay. 1s. No, not really. 2s. Yeah, 2s. 2s looks good. 2s in one of 2 cells in here. You know, this I'm removing because it can see both of these with anti-night move. And this cell, so 2 is fairly restricted. It's only one of 2 locations, 3 locations. No 2s here, 2 is in there. It doesn't have any bearing on these 2s. Shame. 3s, we've already established this 3. 3s, anti-night move. So this 3 would see both of these cells. This 3 would see both of these cells. 3s, 3s, because of these 3s, that's a 3. This 3 sees that. Night move 3 is up here, where this eliminates that last one. That's a 3. That 3 gives me the last 3, sort of almost by magic. That's a 9. That's a 3. 9 is looking very tempting now. 9 is in one of 2 cells. Nope, that can see it. That's a 9. Nine is in one of these 2 cells, making this not a 9. That's a 9. And then we've got an X-wing on 9 here. And no anti-night move to help us. That would be probably just Sudoku to save the day later. What do we have in here? We've got 4, 7, and 8. And 7 is in one of these 2 cells. and 7 is in one of these two cells. Not where I want to go. 5s we haven't really thought about much. No 5s. No, not enough. 6s maybe. What about here? No, not interesting. I'm really having quite some trouble with anti-night move the last couple of days. But where do I go from here? Come on, there must be some obvious things rather than just absolutely filling this puzzle with... Got even digits, maybe odds and evens. Not really. If that's a 4, that would be 8, that would be 6. That all looks like it works. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a bit of pencil marking just to see what I am missing, because I am missing something, and hopefully spot it as I'm sort of working systematically through all the cells. I mean, with this so many pencil marks, like particularly the 2, that doesn't add any value. The 4, that doesn't add any value. I'm just going to lose these. These, when they're down to 2, is helpful. We'll just see how we can use it later. Right. We should be really paying attention to things on corners like this, because they have quite a wide reach if we can use it appropriately. I mean, we've definitely done everything that we can with the palindrome, so it's just purely anti-night move at this point. We've got 1, 4, 7, and 8 to be placed in here. And 4 is not there, 4 is not here, this is a 4, this is an 8, this is a 7, this is a 7, that's not 7, this is a 4-8 pair. We're going to have some kind of anti-night move later on that's going to rescue us from this seemingly dead pattern potentially. Now these are from 1, 7, and 8. Not so interesting. What about what's going on in here? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I need a 5, which you can see is not there. Just night move, which forces a 5 in here. What else do I need? I need 6, 7, and 8. This seemingly can be any of the remainder. In fact, 5s, 5, 5 now. That was there for the taking. That's a 9. That's not a 9. That is a 9. That's 9's done. This box, we need 1, 7, and 8, a third one, plus a 6. That 6 eliminates this as an option. This is just 1 because we've got 7, 8 looking at it. That's not 1. That's 7 and 8. Could continue coloring them. I'm not sure how helpful that will be, but that's a 1. These now are not 1s. 1s are fairly restricted. 1s just to these 2 cells. And then 3 options in here. No, I'm not going to use it. Right, let's just see if we can finish this column. We need 2, 4, and 6 seemingly. We've got 6 and 4 looking at this cell. That's 2. And then we've got 4 and 6. 4 is looking in here. That's 6. That's 4. Doesn't help me with my 6, 8. That's okay. This is 5, 7, 9. No, 5, 7, 8, I should say. I mean, this is not blue. This is not red. It's not enough. This is not red either. Neither of these are red. Just night move and Sudoku. This is red. That's not 5. We end up with a 5 X-wing in here, eliminating 5 from every cell except this one. Then we've got in here, we need 4 and 6. That's 4, that's 6. We need a second. This is not the 4 now. This is the 4. That's the 8. That's the 4. That's an 8. That's a 4. It doesn't help me with my 7 8s, really. Come on. I need a red 7 8 in here, which can't be this cell. It's this cell, which doesn't see a 7 8 in a knight's move away, but it gives me a digit in here. That's got to be a 6. No. 5 is what I meant to say. That's a 5. That's a blue 7 8. Yes, it is. Blue, blue. And blue is now 8. Because it can see 7 up here. These are 7s. None of these are 7s now. 5 8 pair, seemingly unresolved at the moment. We've got 1, 2, and 6 in here. That's not 1, that's not 2. That's not 6. Have I got any more? Yep, 6, 2, 1, 6. That gives me an 8, 8, 5, 8, and 1. Yep, 5, 1. I think we've got it, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3. I need a 4, 7, and 6. That's 7. If I've not made any mistakes, 6, and a solution to today's puzzle. That's an absolutely phenomenal puzzle. Certainly worthy of sharing. 290 solves. So I'm clearly rusty on anti-knight moves. And I need to maybe revisit it a little bit more. But what a puzzle. I think, I mean, I immensely enjoyed having to solve this palindrome, some region, some line fusion, because it was just an absolute joy having to actually come up with some systematic way of just proving what all of these digits are. But then I just sort of lost my way a little bit after that with anti-knight move. But hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle. This is clearly quite another tricky one. I will probably do yet another easy solve for the rest of this weekend. So I hope you enjoyed the puzzle and the video. Slightly less embarrassing than the previous one. And see you back for the next one. Bye-bye for now.